to kick us off, one of the most important thing, and if not one of the most regular questions that always come up, having been asked as a person or a woman in a leadership role is, do we actually think women make different leaders compared to men, and why?
I mean, I think it's a very obvious answer, yes, just because we're completely different in so many ways. If I would have to say myself personally, I would say that I'm more relationship focused. I focus more on the relationships that I have with my team and my peers and stuff like that, compared to maybe one of the male managers that we have here. So in short, I would say yes, just to kick off the conversation.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you. We're obviously completely different, women and men. But for me personally, I do see I've definitely come across men in leadership roles where they also treasure relationship just as important. But I think the way they process and have the concept of relationship is slightly different, in the sense that I would really, really care about how my team or my peers are feeling from a very emotional point of view. Whereas when it comes to a male peer, I feel like most of the time they shy away from having that emotional conversation. It's almost like a taboo for them to even ask, how are you today? And beyond that question, they're usually not there to listen to what goes on after.
Yeah, that's so true. I have many examples of entrepreneurs and male leaders in my family. So I saw how they used to manage their teams. And one thing which I find in common between them is that they hardly face conversations regarding as you said, the feelings of the team, and they hardly give the opportunity, in a sense, to the team to raise their voices regarding other aspects which are not directly involving some managerial tasks, for instance. So I think this is positive in a sense, because sometimes it gives a sense of security to the team, in a sense, a very straight direction. But on the other hand, it makes more complicated for people to really express their feelings regarding the management, and to feel free to participate in certain conversations.
What I did say before coming in this conversation is I will be vulnerable and I'll be transparent. And one of the feedback that I have gotten myself as a woman leader is I lack empathy.
Okay.
And therefore, if we say, does women make different leaders than men? I would say my personal stance is everyone makes a different leader to everyone, because each of us are shaped by very different experiences, number one, and we all have individual preferences and style that is different. And maybe majority of us may tend to, just like any sample group would have similar tendency. I would say I might then be an outlier, because I think I might have a little bit a different experience because of my personality, my preferences, where I grew up, and therefore tend to be more, one would categorize more masculine brain. So very logical, not very emotional, overly communicating on emotion, but that doesn't mean one doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a lot about environment and what we are more comfortable with today than previously, where we might only see one style of leadership as the best style versus a more variety of leadership style. And as a collective group of leaders, that is really, really important, because overly logical miss the people element. Overly people oriented might miss, that some of the facts or data part of decision making, right?